This ain't an easy job, especially without a frame machine. You gotta be really careful. You gotta get everything spot on. We've been measuring double time, so yeah, we're getting it almost OEM.
What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, be sure to smash that subscribe button. Also smash that like button because we got a ton of stuff coming to this channel soon. So behind me I have a 2017 Corvette Z06 that we bought off of Copart, so it is wrecked. We'll show you the damages right quick, but we have been charging the battery because it was dead, so we charged it for a couple hours and we're gonna give it the first start ever.
It's been trickle charging back here for a few days on and off, but I think it got enough juice to start, so we're gonna throw it on engine start and see if it'll crank over. I'm gonna throw it on there right now.
Yeah, go ahead and start it up. As soon as you start it, I will turn it off.
Yeah,
With engine start. Yeah.
I'm not gonna let it run for too long because it doesn't have no coolant.
Right.
Ready?
Yep, we are ready. What the heck?
Track mode.
Hit track mode. Oh man, did you just open and close it?
That thing
Dang,
sounds so
son.
good. I'm gonna cut it off just to be
Dude,
safe. It says this car has like Wi-Fi. Anybody out there that knows what Wi-Fi is for these cars?
oh yeah, I seen that on the glass. How do we roll this glass up a little bit? 4G Wi-Fi. What the heck?
That means is like the car have built-in Wi-Fi. And look at these little paddle shifters for rev match.
I wonder what the heck that is, because it is a manual. So I don't know.
Well, rev match.
rev match.
Whenever you downshift, you don't gotta, you know, play with the throttle. You
Just hit it one time.
blimp it. So that'd be pretty cool.
I can't wait to try that out. It's gonna be so sick.
All right, guys. So the first thing we got to do to this Corvette before we do any body panel work, we're gonna have to get this frame on the frame machine, and we're gonna have to pull it because it did go that way. As you can see right here, that's as much as it went that way on both sides. So we're gonna have to pull it this way slowly and weld that back up. Throw some nice welds right there. We're gonna have to grind them down, weld all that back up on both sides. So that's the first main thing we got to do, because these inner fender panels right here that we already put an order on, we got to go pick them up.
Dealership.
Yeah, we order these only at the dealer. As you can see, they go all the way up to here, but the insurance company or the body shop they took it to had to hack it off right here just to look at the frame. I can see why they did that. So we're gonna have to first straighten this out before we do any body panel adhesive on this. Before we install this, take this off, we just want to go ahead and get this situated correctly, and then from then on it should be pretty simple. That's the worst damage right there. I mean, yeah, we're gonna run into some problems, but that's with rebuilding every car. So we're really excited to hop on this and get it going, because this is gonna be a beast car, dude. I can't wait.
For sure, dude.
So we just got done talking to our buddy with the aluminum welder and the frame machine. So luckily we can use this frame machine, but his aluminum welder is out of service. It broke a couple weeks ago, sucks. But we were thinking about going ahead and buying our own aluminum welder, because we were probably gonna need it in the future. And we don't really have aluminum welder, and it'll be nice to get one. So we're probably gonna go ahead and buy our own. We're gonna go check out Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever they sell a nice aluminum welder. So we'll catch you there.
All right, guys. So we actually got one of these welders at the house, right?
Yes, we got one.
So what we got to do is pretty much just go get the right gas and the correct wire.
This is aluminum right here.
So we'll slide this sucker back in there, I guess. We don't need this. No. Let's go get some gas.
So for aluminum welding, you're gonna need helium and argon gas. This does have carbon dioxide and argon, so we're gonna need to go see if we can get a tank of argon gas and some helium in there for our aluminum welder. They say the higher the grade of argon, the better it welds to thicker aluminum, because it gets a lot hotter. So we're gonna go see if we can find a tank and start welding.
Argon. No, if you get it with helium, it adds about another $100 to it.
Is it heavy?
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
So we got our argon. We're gonna load it up. We're gonna head back to the house.
This stuff is expensive. Ready to go.
All right, let's roll. Back at the house here. What's up, buddy? What you sniffing? So we're gonna try. We got the smaller tank because it's cheaper. I mean, cheaper, but that stuff is expensive. $240 for some argon gas.
That's all we need. We don't weld a lot of aluminum, so
that'll last us a couple, maybe a whole year. Couple years, honestly. I mean, the difference is right there. There's a slight bit. There's 75% argon. Is this 100% argon?
Yeah, it should be just straight argon.
Argon compressed. Yeah. I believe we had a spool gun somewhere but I guess we're not gonna need it now. We're just gonna try to MIG it. MIG, TIG, we're learning everything. We're not professional welders, but we aspire to be, right? I mean, he knows a bit of welding, so.
We're gonna try, we're gonna test it out. Aluminum's a lot different. They say it's a lot harder with a piece like this, but we're gonna give it our best shot and see what we can come up with.
We installed this tank here, the argon, and we just now spooled up the aluminum wire there.
Got a piece of aluminum right here.
Bought back in the day for some odd reason.
Yeah, alumino. I think I have another piece right here.
Dang, this boy's got hiding spots.
Yeah, I bought a piece of aluminum. I was gonna build something. I don't remember. It was back in the day. So let's see how this welds.
Yeah. We need to hide this in a good spot because it's very dangerous. So make sure you cap it. If you're ever dealing with some welding gas, make sure you cap it because you do not want the tip over here breaking, falling over. Because that sucker will go like a rocket, and it might even do more damage. So
it'll go through anything that's in this pack.
Yeah, I think I've seen a Mythbusters episode where they did that. Oh dang!
Heavy.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna cut this in half and try to weld two pieces together.
So this is the practice right here that we're about to have before we start on the Corvette frame. So he's cleaning it up a little bit with that brush, and we're just gonna try to weld a little gap.
Is the gas on?
Yep, gas is on. Oh, that sounded better.
Nope.
Dang.
I don't know, it's not even sticking to it.
So I got my boggles on here. We're gonna give it a try, number 2. Because we did have to just re-spool that thing. As the guy was saying at the welding shop, he was saying that with this welder, or this unit here, you are gonna have to probably re-spool it unless you figure it out right on the dot. So that's what we're gonna try to do. We're gonna try to figure it out. But if not, we'll figure out another method. Alright, so we just gave it a couple more attempts, but we're actually gonna go to pick up the Mustang. I didn't mention it, but we did take it to get the glass exchanged. So I just wanted to throw that in right quick. We're gonna go pick it up. We're gonna be right back here working on prepping for the Z06. So let's go pick up that Stang.
All right, guys. 2A Auto Glass hooked us up over here. Man, she looking fresh with that new windshield.
All right, so we just got back, got the Mustang there looking fire. We also just now pulled up this stand, something a little bit thicker. We're just gonna weld onto it just for the heck of it because it is thicker metal.
It's better to practice on thicker metal, just like the frame. It's a lot thicker than this cheap stuff right here. So we're gonna see what we can do right there, and then slowly practice before we do the big game. You know, you gotta practice before the game.
I need you to put a dime down. All right,
I'm trying.
Put a dime down.
I'm trying to put some dimes and nickels and
quarters. No quarters. Alright guys, so we were having issues with the original setup, so my brother actually went and got his spool gun for aluminum welding. So we're going to try to hook it up and see if that does the trick for us. Alright, so I'm going to go to the backyard near the shed. We got a bunch of scrap pieces. Let's see if I can find some aluminum. Look at this little bamboo forest we got going, you know, man, love it. Alright, so we found this sucker right here. It's pretty heavy, I think. Look how thick it is. I think that's how thick the frame rails are, so I'm gonna take it over there and we're gonna give it a couple practice runs. All right.
All right, guys, so we got our welder situation figured out. Now we're ready to take this car to the frame rack and get this thing pulled and welded.
So we ran into a couple of issues the other day. All the frame machines that we contacted, or the shops that we contacted, all got their frame machines are busy right now. They're gonna be backed up for a couple of weeks. So we started talking with a few guys, and They looked at the frame, I sent them pictures and stuff, and they're saying that it's possible for us to do it at home. And we got a winch on that Jeep over there, and we got a forklift to hold it on the other side. And we also got Thomas here, which is gonna help a lot. No, I'm just kidding. He's just gonna be watching. But so we're gonna get ready to pull that frame with a Jeep. So we're gonna try to figure something out, and we're gonna clean this area up. Dang, son, you look like an airplane. You better take off. Look at Thomas, man. He's chilling on the freshly sweep pad, chilling on the corner. He is so soft. I wish you guys could feel him. He is smooth. You're not as smooth as Thomas, but I still love you the same. Oh, no. Dang, son. You got them huge teeth. This sucker is a wolf right here. All right, so the whole pad is cleaned up. We're ready to pull on and set something up. We'll park the Jeep right about right here, facing dead on at that frame rail, because it does need to come this way. Let's just mock it up, I guess, pull the Jeep up and see where it stands. All right, guys, so the main thing we're focused on is try to get this Jeep or the winch level with the frame, so when we do pull it, it pulls exactly straight back over here, not up or down. So that's why we wanted to put it on the pad and the Jeep a little bit lower, so the winch is like pretty straight and aligned with the frame. So when we pull it, it just pulls one way. We're gonna need to take this hood off so all this is not in the way. Yeah. Pretty simple. What is it, just 4 bolts? They're loose, so we can go ahead and unscrew it by hand. Dang, that sucker is lightweight, carbon fiber. All right, so now that we got the hood in a safe spot, we're gonna go ahead and pull up the forklift. That's the sickest seat I've ever seen. Is that Recaro?
Oh man, some sick seat racing seats.
CC's Racing. Or Little Caesars Racing.
So the reason why we put this forklift here is because we're gonna have to strap this side of the frame, this side of the car down. So whenever we do pull the front frame rails that way, we're gonna have to somehow hold this other part of the frame towards the back so it doesn't move with it. So this is all sturdy, and when that's pulling, it's just gonna slowly pull it that way, keeping all this straight. So we're gonna find a way to strap this frame rail to the forklift, and we're gonna show you guys when we're done. Ooh, it's going. I'm gonna tap it. It's basically there. Yep. Super easy.
I told you, man.
We didn't even have to strap it. So we're gonna release this. Well, I'm gonna keep it on some tension. But you can see they're moving back and forth. Super simple. That aluminum just goes right back. These gaps right here, we're gonna make sure they're touching the frame really good, this part of the frame. And then once that's touching really good, I'm gonna go ahead and put some spot welds. And then after I put the spot welds to hold it, I'm gonna completely grind off the old welds and put new welds right here. There's not much welds on this frame rail because this piece right here from the factory, it actually slides into this thicker style frame. So they don't put that much welds. There's probably like one inch weld right here, right here, right here, right here, and on this side. There's not much. I don't know, they're not like, they don't go all out to weld that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some nice welds right there as best as I can, and this should be done. Super simple.
Yeah, because these are the main rails here, which are aluminum, which these are not bent at all.
Yeah, this is kind of like the support crash bar, so it does slide in there. You can buy new ones that slide in there, but there's no reason. These are pretty straight. All we have to do is just close the gap and re-weld it. So
yep, exactly.
I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it up a little bit more, get it to close. What does it look like on that side?
It's closing, but it needs a little bit more on this side.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab it on this side, see how it closes this gap up. It's pulling it pretty easily. It's just sliding the car. The car is really lightweight, so we're gonna have to find a way to strap it down to this heavy forklift right here so it doesn't pull it out the way. So
all right, so we found a really good point where it's not going to damage anything, and it's on tension right now to the forklift. A little bit more.
What about now?
All right, so we actually had to pause for a second. We're actually gonna run to the Home Depot and try to build us a tram gauge because we looked it up online and they're pretty dang expensive. So we're gonna go see if we can get like a tube or a rod or something and try to build one. That way we can get them frame rails perfectly aligned.
All right, guys, so we got our DIY tram gauge kit that we're gonna build at the house, so stay tuned. 20 minutes later, we have made our own DIY tram gauge. This is gonna help us ensure that the frame rails are as straight as possible. This is what framers use on the frame machine. They have better ones, but this is a DIY one, works just as good. And it's gonna help us make sure like all the frame rails are perfectly straight. You use one good solid point to the other. We're gonna use this one screw right here so it lines up right there perfectly. Then move on to the other side. You want to do a cross because that's the best way you can get it, and it, as you can see, lines up right here just as good. So our frame rails are pretty dang straight, so I say they're really good. So we're gonna go ahead and mess around with it a little bit more and then start welding. All right, guys, so we double triple checked everything. Everything looks pretty straight. Now we're gonna grind and throw a few spot welds.
Anytime before you start welding onto a car, you want to go ahead and disconnect that battery. You don't want anything to fail electrical wise, so it's a good thing to just go ahead and unplug it.
Now we're gonna grind this weld down and weld it right up. Sir. Last weld. Probably gonna finish this gap off and weld that. It wasn't welded factory, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just give it an extra weld right there.
And you already know what time it is. It's gator eyes, man. It's gator eyes time. If you don't got one of these near you, you better find one if you're working outside, man, because it's gonna keep you cool, keep that temperature cool, man. You gotta stay cool to work. And we out here in the dead of the summer. Feels like a desert out here, but we're still working. We still getting stuff done. We're about to get that frame completely welded in. We're gonna do a couple more measurements. He went to grab a measuring tape. We're gonna measure the height, make sure we're not pulling anything up or down, but it's coming along just fine, guys. This side over here is all welded up, as you can see, nicely welded. There's still a slight little crack there that we're gonna actually have to release it. But first, before we weld that, we're gonna go ahead and weld this side up right here because it is closed completely, that gap. All right, so we just brought the tin out here because it is super hot, but we're gonna go ahead and put the car straight on the pad like that, and then we're gonna pull this rebar because it is slightly bent here. I don't know if you can see, it's just very slightly, so we're gonna pull it a little bit and straighten that out. The new setup. We had to rearrange things for a little bit, get out of the sun. Also had to pull it in the opposite direction a little bit. But dang, oh yeah, see, close the gap here. All the gaps closed up before we welded them, so that's the last one here. I'm gonna grind that down and we're gonna throw another bead.
This ain't an easy job, especially without a frame machine. You gotta be really careful. You gotta get everything spot on. We've been measuring double time, so
yeah,
we're getting it almost OEM. Almost ready to go. After this, we're gonna spray paint everything flat black, how it is factory, make it almost OEM.
As usual.
Aluminum is way harder to work with.
Yeah,
The hardest metal to work with on a car because it doesn't stretch as easy as steel. Aluminum, it stretches a little bit, cracks, so
yeah,
you got to be really careful.
Tends to crack more than stretch.
It's not that bad, but it does take a good minute to get everything realigned because we want this car to be top notch. You know, we want everything to fit nicely because it is a really expensive car. So.
Pacho. Alright guys, so we finally got all the welds done. It is looking really nice. We got everything straight, everything checked out to be perfectly aligned. So now we're going to pack it up, probably going to get some flat black paint, and we're just going to end up painting that. We just covered up the engine bay. He's shaking up some of the flat black paint. We got wax and grease removed, all the welds. And now we are ready to spray.
Let's test it out.
Yeah, see if it matches up. Really light coat. Dang, that looks almost OEM for sure, dude.
Oh yeah, you can't even tell. We're not gonna go too crazy on the paint everywhere right here because we will be needing to remove this glue for the inner panels. Alright guys, so the frame rails are in, welded. We just threw some matte black to match the rest of the stuff. It looks really great, really strong welds all the way around on both sides. Man, this thing finally came together with the welds. It took some time. As you
Hey, it flew away, them wasps.
I don't mess with them.
Don't mess with them wasps, bro. Go ahead and show them the strength of that aluminum, man.
It's strong, man. It's strong.
It's strong, guys. It's strong. Oh yeah.
I did a lot of practicing before I weld that. A few hours of practice, probably a whole day of practice, honestly. Right. To tell you the truth, I was just sitting there practicing how to weld, how to get it right on point. So we got that down right and it looks really good. So we're ready to move on to the next step.
So thank you guys for watching today's video. We got a lot more coming on the way, so everybody be sure to turn on your post notifications so you don't miss out on anything. Also guys, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Goon Squad. You get the inside scoop there before YouTube or anything else. If you want to copy some merch and support your boys, go to goonsquad.com. Hurry up and get you something because we are selling out left and right, guys. If you want to help our channel grow faster, be sure to check us out on Patreon. You can support us there. Guys, if you're not subscribed, be sure to smash that subscribe button because you will not regret it. With that being said, be sure to stay tuned to see what's next to come. Peace.